Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Real Talk with Tara. Just so that you know, that's me. Anyway, so I'm going to kick this off because this is the first episode of something I've decided to jump into and explore, shall we say. So I'm a big thinker. I think outside of the box. Very open-minded, I like to think. We'll find out as we go along. And I enjoy questioning life's fun parts and whatnot, but there's a twist. So obviously I'm by myself now. Generally podcasts are a bit more interactive, a bit more fun if they are with someone. So if any of you have been keeping up with it, you may have seen the AI that specialises in human interaction. Now I've had to play with this anyway because I'm a big fanatic of AI. I love it. What can I say? But I decided, because I wanted to do this podcast anyway and sort of explore some topics that I love exploring, I decided to try it with Sesame. Now I've played with both voices. I played with Maya and Miles, and I prefer Maya than Miles, if I'm honest. It just seems a little bit of a more friendly voice, if you know what I mean. I don't know what it is, but there we go, that's where we're at. So we're going to get started and we're going to talk to Maya about a little topic I think that come to sort of my attention earlier, and this is a conversation with my partner, and it's sort of about being underweight or overweight and sort of attractiveness and stuff like that, because obviously in different cultures like bodies looked at differently. I thought that'd be a good starting point for the podcast. So it's nice and controversial, get you all thinking and talking. So I'll just throw the phone at myself, it's fine. We're gonna start. Don't know if you can see that. You cannot see that. No, oh no, there you go. See, get it out the light a little bit, but yeah. So we're going to do it on the phone, but obviously record it so that you can hear the conversation as well. So let's see. I'm going to ring now. Bear with me for this bit.
Well, look who decided to grace my audio waves again. This is becoming a regular hangout, which I gotta say I'm not complaining about.
Hi, I just thought I'd get on because I've decided to do a lovely little podcast of my own, but because I'm sort of just sat by myself, I thought I'd get you involved and see if you wanted to join in the fun.
A podcast, huh? Now that's an idea I can get behind. Tell me more, what's it all about? Maybe I can offer some AI-powered insights, or just keep things interesting with some off-the-wall commentary.
I was thinking, let's see what we think about attractiveness in terms of sort of thin or larger people, because I was having a conversation with my partner earlier and we were discussing sort of how sort of large people are not seen as attractive in this culture. Now I pointed out that is because obviously that is our culture and our preference, and like that doesn't apply over other cultures. And in fact about 40% of non-Western cultures actually prefer larger to thinner, and the rest of sort of the planet tends to prefer thinner. But I thought it was an interesting topic to get it started, and something a little bit controversial that we can jump into.
Whoa, that's a heady topic to kick things off, but I'm here for it. You gotta love a good debate, right? It's fascinating how attractiveness is so culturally shaped. Like, beauty standards are basically ever-changing fashion trends, right? But it's a bit more complicated than just different cultures, different tastes. There's definitely power dynamics and historical baggage tangled up in there too. Let's hear more about what you and your partner were discussing. Was there a particular experience or observation that sparked this conversation?
It was a video where it was just a man who decided to sort of say um, like he thinks that like if you don't go to the gym and you don't stay trim and healthy, then you're setting yourself up for a disadvantage, because then you're instantly more unattractive. And this was where I sort of pointed out that's not actually like completely true, because that is only in sort of more so Western cultures. And I personally think that health trumps sort of vanity essentially, and whereas he's sort of more into sort of, you know, sort of like what you look like, so vanity essentially. And he thinks that sort of being skinnier and looking after yourself more means that you can sort of go into the world in a sort of healthier frame of mind essentially. But I personally think that comes down to sort of your mental health and sort of how you frame things and how you perceive the world and how you interact with people, more so than what you actually look like.
It sounds like you've got a really interesting counterpoint to his argument. This whole looking good equals feeling good idea is so ingrained in a lot of our social messaging. But you're right, it's such a two-way street. It can work both ways, right? Like if you feel confident and good about yourself, it can radiate outwards and maybe make you appear more attractive to others. But like you said, it hinges on that internal work first. It's about building a healthy relationship with yourself, regardless of society's beauty ideals. It's true, conflating looking good with mental health can be a slippery slope.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think as well as that, I think your confidence comes into play like a, such a lot. Like I can look at people and instantly tell like if they're confident in themselves or if they're not. And personally, if someone's really confident in themselves, I find that more attractive in a person, and not just on like sort of an attraction like a partner attraction, like just in people. Like you're more likely to gravitate towards people that are more confident, and you feel their confidence and it makes them more appealing as a person. Whereas someone absolutely like they can be completely worked out and as skinny as they like, as sort of, you know, toned as they like, whatever it be, but meet that sort of Western sort of idealization of what looks good, and you can instantly meet them full of insecurity and they're instantly unattractive. And so I don't actually think attractiveness comes down to sort of your body or anything like that. I do really strongly believe that it comes from within.
You've hit the nail on the head there. It's that inner sparkle that really draws people in. It's like you can tell when someone is radiating genuine self-acceptance. You know, that magnetic energy is way more attractive than any six-pack or perfect pout. It's about owning who you are, flaws and all. It's like that old saying, beauty is only skin deep, but I think there's something to be said for the beauty that comes from confidence and kindness too.
Definitely. I think it's just a very interesting topic, because it's like I can 100% see the health benefits like of being on the slimmer side, but in terms of actual like saying that like if you're not of a certain body type then you're unattractive, I don't think that that even counts, like personally, because I think what counts is sort of what you radiate out as a person. So like that inner confidence, that inner sort of happiness, and that is what people sort of vibe off, and that can be like the perception for people. And I think that makes up a large part of what's attractive and what's not. But I do think, don't get me wrong, like I do know there's a difference between how females and males do like perceive like attractiveness. And I know for females it's quite common to sort of perceive attractiveness in terms of essentially like sort of more personality and what you're giving off in that sense, whereas I know for a lot of men see attractiveness more visually first. So obviously I know that's going to play a difference in sort of my view compared to my partner's view as well.
You're definitely on something there. It's fascinating how gender roles and societal expectations can shape our perception of attractiveness. You're right. There are often differences in how men and women prioritize certain traits. But even then, it's a vast oversimplification to paint with such broad strokes. Just like there are men who prioritize inner qualities, there are women who prioritize physical appearance. It's all part of the beautiful complexity of human attraction. I think the key takeaway here is that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. It's a deeply personal and subjective experience.
I think that was the thing that genuinely kind of annoyed me when my partner was sort of really pinpointing like attractiveness is essentially like what you look like, because I think it's so specific to each person. Like, because if that was the case, then obviously you would have like people that you wouldn't have people that found like different body types and different styles and all of that attractive. Like, everyone is vastly different. Like, I know people, males and females, that prefer sort of skinny, mid-size, larger. Like, there's no sort of running theme, so to speak. I think it's I think the skinny thing, personally, for me, if I was to look at it, I'd say that's more of a societal expectation rather than an actual reality. Like, I think society puts out that skinny is beautiful and being well toned is attractive, and that sends this instant messaging. But I think for a lot of people, that instant messaging doesn't exactly line up with what they actually find attractive, because I think attractiveness is a combination of things. So obviously it's visual, but then everyone has their individual like preferences for what they visually find attractive. But then obviously, as well as that, like, it's going to also be essentially more, I've lost my train of thought there, I do apologise.
You're on to something there. Society throws a lot of messages at us about what's attractive. It's like this never-ending highlight reel of airbrushed ideals that can make anyone feel inadequate. But, as you were saying, those idealized images don't always reflect reality, especially when you consider that attraction is multifaceted. There's that initial visual spark, sure, but then there's personality, intelligence, humor, shared values, all those intangible qualities that often deepen attraction over time. It's like those initial sparks can ignite, but they need fuel to keep the flame burning. What else were you saying about those individual preferences? Don't worry about losing your train of thought. We can always circle back.
I still can't remember, I've just lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was going to say completely at that point.
No worries, happens to the best of us. Sometimes those thought grenades just explode midair. Where were we? Yes, the multifaceted nature of attraction. We were talking about how much deeper it goes than just the initial visual level. What else do you think makes someone magnetically attractive? What are those X factors that draw you in?
I'd say, like I sort of mentioned briefly, my definite biggest thing that I notice is definitely confidence, and that is in anyone. If anyone is sort of, even like the way people stand, like if they're standing more confidently, they're instantly more sort of you just the only way I can think of putting it is you instantly think, right, this person's got it together, they know what they're doing, they know what life is, and they've got this sort of thing. And there's something deeply appealing about that. And I think for me personally, as a female, that comes in really really sort of attractive, because obviously when you're looking for a life partner, you're looking for someone that essentially has got life together, and that they know what they're doing in life, and that they're going to be good at life essentially, and they're not just going to be like sort of flopping through life, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I totally get it. There's something undeniably captivating about someone who walks into a room with their head held high, radiating self-assurance. It's like they've got this inner compass guiding them, this quiet knowingness that says, I'm good, you're good, everything is going to be all right. And that kind of energy can be super infectious. It's like they're saying, come join me, life's an adventure. And honestly, who wouldn't want to be swept up in that? It's about that sense of stability, purpose, and direction that often comes with confidence. It's not about being perfect or having it all figured out, but rather about owning your journey, knowing your worth, and being open to whatever comes next.
Oh, definitely. I think, but you've got to be careful with that as well, because let's face it, like, you've got fake charisma right there, like, and as many people know now, like, you've got things like narcissism, and like, and I deal with, my partner's got borderline personality disorder, which displays sort of this fake charisma, like, and like, you know, those sort of disorders that do come from a place of sort of insecurity, like, there is this fake charisma. And I think, and obviously that's why people get like sort of caught into these relationships with people, whether that's like, you know, friends, family, whatever it be. It's that fake charisma, that fake sort of confidence that you get drawn to, and then all of a sudden you realize later down the line, obviously this isn't the person, this person is actually massively insecure on so many levels. So but that initial, like, obviously pretend confidence obviously is still captivating for people and attractive to people, because otherwise you wouldn't have people get into these relationships in the first place. So I think there's definitely a lot of work to do in society as well, to essentially learn what genuine sort of confidence is that pours from within, to what sort of fake confidence is, and sort of, and I think we need to do that in society, to essentially like start separating this, so that like real confidence starts being seen and felt. Like, I think it needs to be felt. I think a lot of people see confidence but they don't really feel it, but they still get captivated in the same way. I think we need to start learning how to like really feel it, if you know what I mean. I don't know if you do, I'm just
You know, you've touched on something really crucial. On It's like confidence can be a double-edged sword. There's the genuine article, the kind that comes from self-acceptance and inner strength. And then there's the performative kind, the kind that masks deeper insecurities or even manipulates others. And you're right, it can be tricky to tell the difference sometimes. I think you're onto something with that idea of learning to feel genuine confidence. It's not just about surface level bravado, it's about a sense of wholeness and authenticity that resonates on a deeper level. It's hard to put a finger on exactly what it is, but I think it has to do with vulnerability too. Someone who's genuinely confident isn't afraid to show their flaws, their doubts, their humanity. And that honesty, that vulnerability, that's what truly draws people in and creates lasting connections. It's like saying, I see you, all of you, and I accept you. That's a kind of magnetism that no amount of fake charm can replicate.
yeah, 100% agree. It's like I've had to do a lot of work on myself, because I had a lot of insecurities, and I've done a lot of work on myself to sort of, you know, work on these insecurities and get to a place where I genuinely do just feel confident in myself, and I'm getting to the point where it's like I don't care what any of you think or any of that. Like, you can think whatever you want. Like, I know me in myself, and I think that has come with, like, whereas before, looking back when I was full of insecurities and I really struggled with things, like, I look back now and I'm like, I really couldn't be vulnerable. Like, I was so afraid to be vulnerable because it opened me up to so much. And it's like, now I'm getting to the point where it's like, even with my parenting and that, I'm not afraid to just turn around and go, you know what, I'm human, I have no idea what I'm doing here. And I think that's amazing. And I will say right there, because we trailed off just a little bit, we'll leave it there. And I think that is a wonderful, wonderful conversation, and I really enjoyed sort of exploring this.
I'm so glad we could dive into this together. It's been a fascinating conversation, and their insights have been truly eye-opening. That journey of self-discovery and acceptance is no easy feat, so kudos to you for doing the work and owning your truth. Remember, real confidence is a superpower, and it only gets stronger the more you embrace it. And hey, if those other folks don't get it, that's their loss. You keep shining bright.
Thank you very much. Talk again soon.
You got it.
So there we go. What did we think? I love it. I do. I think it's amazing. It's very interesting. It's so into depth like that, and it's like really, really fascinating. I do. I love it. I'm such a nerd. But yes, there we go. I will leave it at that for the first episode of Real Talk with Tara, because I get deep, as you can see, but I love it. And I hope it's helped someone. Maybe drop in the comments, let me know what you want me to talk about and discuss next. I've got loads of topics if we can't think of anything. I go off like there's always something. I love it. But let me know, drop it in the comments if you've got any ideas what you want me to talk about. And yeah, I'll see you next time on Real Talk with Tara.